Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Let's Play Wartales. And it's been a bit of a while since the previous episode. I let it sort of marinate to gather some suggestions for names and such. And, well, I'm going to be brutally honest, there weren't exactly that many, but we don't need that many for our humble troop here. And I don't suppose we're going to have that many soldiers to begin with throughout the campaign. So it's fine. And so, first of all, we have the nuke, or the nuclear strategist, but that name's way too long. And I don't mean too long, I mean way too long for what the game allows. So we're going to just go with the, I could have gone maybe the nuke SDG or something to, but yeah, whatever, I'll remember it. And he's going to be the swordmaster, because, well, the nuke, right? And it's cleave people, and it, well, I wouldn't say that a longsword is a medieval equivalent of a nuke, but it's going to feel like it when you chop two people in half with a single blow, or maybe use laceration in combination with that. My point is, this is a big damage dealer, so it fits the name. Then we have Potty Mouth, which I love just because of the name. I had to put it in, right? Look at it, Potty Mouth. It's glorious, especially when we have those interactions with I don't know, convincing people or intimidating them, whatever. That's going to be amazing. We have Cod Orion, which is going to be our rogue, ranger, thief kind of character. Which, again, we're going to be playing the chivalrous knights here, because I did a sort of chaos-inspired run off-camera once, and it was fun, but I want to do the sort of opposite end of things now. So we're not going to be stealing much from, farmers and innocent folks and stuff like that, but a lot of lockpicking, definitely. And we also have Command Delicious, which is a personal friend of mine and friend of the channel. I've even done some videos with him a long time ago. He doesn't do YouTube anymore, but, well, yeah. Definitely, I think, way more fitting than this, for just some personal reasons, and just for, well, especially with Tinkerer, I mean, just for, there's layers to why that particular character fits him so well. Oh, and I nearly forgot, nobody signed up to be the pony. Can't imagine why, but nobody wanted to be the pony, so I'm gonna be the pony. But here's the thing. I'm gonna be not the combat pony. I'm gonna be the one that carries stuff with the saddlebags, and by proxy, I'm going to be the one that carries the group in a sort of modern digital style of expressions, right? But also the pony. A lot of people don't know this about Wartales. Ladies and gents, the pony is the only constant. Think about it. See, all of these guys, Potty Mouth, Nuke, anyone new that we recruit, they can all die and then be replaced. Yeah, granted, the pony can die and be replaced as well, but the pony's not a combat character. He's in the back, he's controlling everything with his hooves, or watch him, rather. And so if you really think about it, he's the only constant. Because he's the one that can't die, right? I mean, he's not in combat. Everyone else is replaceable. You weren't thinking of that when you were signing up for these characters, were you? So, yeah, there you go. But like I said before, this is going to be a rather short Let's Play.
Hello, dear colleagues. No need to look. See, I was not
You
mistaken. You really are.
You recruit dead bodies. Really? You know what? I'm just going to leave. I'm going to recruit you later down the line. Yes, I am. Or no. Probably not. Like, probably the better option would be to just kill her outright. Because she's looting dead bodies, and I'm trying to be the courageous hero and do the right thing here, etc., right? Okay, well, we'll come back to that moral dilemma later. For now, we're going to collect a couple of things along the road, and we find Courtier Mill. Okay, grab our hemp. There's a bunch of wheat here, which we're not going to steal.
Would you like to buy this map? It is all I have left from my old life.
Indicates the treasure of a buried mercenary. Sure.
Oh, did you really just buy it?
Yeah, I did.
Thank you so much.
Would you like to buy everything else that I have? No? You're welcome. There you go. So what's the map? It's... no idea where that is. It's some type of mountain, and then... yeah, that's kind of all I know. Well, we'll get to it later down the line. This is Laarts Castle. And I know who that is, by pure chance. It is the local lord of this area, and we can... well, we can talk to a couple of people here.
You are going to accompany me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna accompany you.
Renegades, you can convince at least 2 of the...
And the reason I'm not gonna accompany you is I want to help the other guy.
Have you heard all these?
Yeah, I've heard everything, don't worry about it. But like I said, I want to get the other guy. Blacksmith, so we're gonna have Danuke become a blacksmith, because we're gonna need to make stuff. Maybe not necessarily rags, we can skip on that, although... whoops, sorry about that. We can skip on that, not necessary. But we do need to open up the compendium and learn something as well, don't we? And we can learn how to make a workshop. You know what? Let's do that. And then get out of here and start collecting more stuff from around the castle, such as wood and whatever this is. There's a group of bandits down there. 3 of them, and there's 4 of us. I mean... level 2 bandits? You know what? Sure, let's go. Have at ye. So, we gotta... ah, right. How far is the movement range? Not very much. His movement range is massive. That's a tad unfortunate. Okay, so we're going to let him move and shoot, I think. Because there's no way of getting to him. Like, not really. Yeah. Okay, so he goes first. Just out of curiosity... deals damage to the target, but doesn't move the target. I have nothing to move an enemy, right? Correct. Okay, well, in that case, considering this guy goes first, maybe the correct course of action would be to try and eliminate him. And so that's what we're going to try and do. God, the movement range on Pottymouth is absurdly small. So you're going to put just a regular shot into him, and that's about it. And now I'm wondering, there's no way I can hit both of them, right? Yeah, there is absolutely no way. And so, let's hit him, engage him in honorable combat, and then that's it. Not really living up to his name. Ouch, 9 damage. Not really living up to his name, this character, but you know what? For now, it's going to be fine. And then we have to engage this guy as well. Ideally, I'd like to engage the archer, because that completely eliminates him as a threat, but, yeah. Just can't reach him. Although, I'm hoping... the chance of that hitting was, like, less than 20%. I guarantee it. Like, I absolutely guarantee you, the chance of that hitting was absurdly low. And yet. Right? Okay. So, how are we going to go about doing this? Well, first and foremost, cut your throat. There we go, and that gives me an act of valor thing. Removes all stacks of poison and burning. I need to do that, because I can't attack this turn. I might as well heal Danuke up a little bit and remove all the poison and burning from him. And then just get out of the way. Okay, next to act is going to be the poacher. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to take some poison damage. That's just 2 damage, honestly, it's not that bad. Yeah, I need to hit him. Oof, crit as well. And then, you know what? He's going to take up a glory point, but might as well finish you. off to stop you from taking a turn, and ouch, but that's fine. And finally, we have this guy. Let's see if the nuke can live up to his name. Oh yeah, that'll do. That'll do. Okay, so at the end of the day, just 2 guys took damage, and there's just 2 bits of damage that we need to repair, which is pretty good. And let's also see if we can upgrade the armor. We can. Not a fan of the outlaw armor on us, but, you know, what can we do? And I think this is going to do more damage, right? This is definitely going to do way more damage, and is going to poison the enemy. So, Cod Orion, I never really asked how it's pronounced, but I think that's how it's supposed to be pronounced. Can take that. And we're done here, right? Okay, good. Next we have the Shabby Camp. We've stumbled along.
We've led to the south.
Hello?
Steed, if you want to live.
Right.
Woe betides anyone mounting the black steed. The beast will take them into the night, never to be seen. Never mind the mercenaries and the ruffians who lurk.
Right.
When my sister was at sea, I used to stay here and weave wool. But with this
We have a porridge recipe. That's not bad. It's a bit expensive though. Can't really afford it right now, but fine. The Black Steed, you say? We say I know much about it, but we'll look into it, I suppose. This I also found to be an annoying bug. You're supposed to be able to climb up here, and yet I can't for some reason. You're supposed to, like, look, there's the road. You're supposed to be able to go up here. There we go. It's so annoying. In fact, do I have a... No, I don't have the thing necessary to... Maybe we can make some. We do have a tinkerer now, don't we? Pitten. For that I need an iron ore. A bit of iron ore. Okay, fine. We'll get to that later. For now, Tracker's Camp. Hello, and... Who are you?
You wish to join the hunt?
Do I wish to join the hunt? You know what? Yes. Yes, I do. So, someone was attacked in a field near St. Eleanor Abbey. The ghost pack then fled in an unknown direction, so we need to kill the ghost pack that
If this is your first
is
time
somewhere
hunting
in the general direction of, I'm assuming. Okay, now I'm assuming these trackers work like the previous ones I encountered in a different playthrough. Yeah, so these trackers will actually buy stuff off you for pristine fangs, not for anything else, which is kind of interesting. They don't trade in gold or anything like that. Find that moderately amusing. Alright, get out of here, get the compendium opened up. We have career plans. We can now go for... Let's go for rationing and then weighted training and stuff like that, just to do some quality of life improvements within the troop. Reduce the amount of wages we pay, the amount of food we eat, increase the amount of stuff we carry, you know, just general buffs like that. Here's a Brotherhood training ground. Now, I know about the Brotherhood. This is where you can talk to one of these.
Those guys over
Hello.
there are rubbish. Completely hopeless.
Yeah, it'll let you upgrade some weapons attributes or whatever.
Those
Not
guys
any of the
over
ones
there are
I have,
rubbish.
though. And
Don't make
but
the
like
same
way
mistake.
later down the line, let you
Learn
upgrade
new
some of the
skills.
some of the
You don't
abilities
wanna
for your
end up like
companions.
them.
But this is like out there, right? This is a lot later in Barber Kit as well. You know, I'm gonna buy one because we're gonna need to make sure everyone has the same haircut once we recruit someone new. And then obviously we have the Path of Knowledge. Haven't talked about these paths, have I? So, these are various things that you do in the game reflected in the points that you get from them. So, you have the combat path. You complete various challenges for it, such as forging weapons, bounty hunting, fighting, allow 10 enemies to flee the battle after a loss. or after their loss of morale, that is, gaining influence, throw 10 left-handed weapons, for example. So these are the things that you do in order to unlock a level 1 of glory. Once you do, you get to pick something from the right side as a buff for your party. In general, these buffs are they're pretty good, but they're pretty global and general, right? So it's not like combat buffs are strictly related to combat. No, some of them are going to be related to, I don't know, food, wages, whatever. It's going to be a variety of things, so just to sort of keep that in mind. And there's no real danger around, so we can afford to crawl on over to the last bit of iron ore over here, and then we can pick it up. There we go. Okay, so time to camp for the night. There's not really much to do yet, I'm afraid. We can't craft much. We can craft a piece of rope. That's good. We can then craft one of these pittons, which I'm going to need, so I'm going to craft it. And then we can also craft like 2 lockpicks, maybe. I'm going to need a few of those too. Fish hooks we don't need because we're not into any fishing yet. And that's about it for now. So, no wages to be paid. Just a couple of apples to eat and some bread will do just fine. Yeah, wolf we can turn into wolf sausages later, so I don't want to waste that. A couple of apples and some bread will do us just fine for tonight, and we rest. And there we go. So, sitting around the campfire gave us 3 happiness. We also gained 2 valor points. Sorry about that. Copy. Right, so we produced a little bit of raw materials from the workers' bench. Everything is fine, especially for the early game. This is more than enough. You wanna see one of the worst and useless things you can spend your ability point on? Oh, sorry, your knowledge point on. See, these knowledge points, they're very, very rare and very, very important. You get them, well, they're not that rare. You get them relatively often, but here's the thing. You need them to unlock all of this. You need them to unlock recipes for each and every profession, more or less. Granted, some recipes can be unlocked via, you know, recipes, recipe scrolls, and via some events as well, and quests and something like that, etc., etc., but a lot of them you unlock with these knowledge points. So, one of these precious knowledge points you can spend on cannibalism, which is, your troopers prepared to do anything to survive, including eating their own. You can now devour human corpses. A human corpse, the entire thing, right? The entire corpse is worth 1 food, which means an entire human corpse with the cannibal trait is worth less than 1 apple. This would be amazing if the human corpse in question was like 4, 6, maybe even 8 food. In which case, that would be grand, right? Because you could sort of ignore everything else that's related to food. That's what I would really like. You can pick cannibalism, and you can then ignore cooking as a whole, because you're just going to consume human corpses. Or better yet, you can cook human corpses, right? That would be great. It would make sense, and it would be great. But now, they're just 1 food. And so, they're really, really terrible, and I don't like that whole thing. So I'm going to go with weighted training, because I often struggle with carry weight. 4 people and a donkey, it's probably going to be an even bigger struggle nowadays. And we can also put this down right here. Meaning, we can descend down the cliff and pick up some of these things, maybe even pick up the iron ore. Who knows? I said maybe even pick up... Never mind, we're not going to be able to pick up the iron ore. I tried, I mean, I genuinely did, and gave it my all. Okay, Shipwreck Cavern. We can pick up the alcohol. Lockpicking, okay. This is good. Yeah. Yikes. Yeah, knew I needed another thing. Okay, and I've decided I'm going to just completely forego alchemy for this run. Yeah, maybe not the wisest choice, as alchemists later down the line can be pretty useful. I'm going to have Pottymouth be a miner. That's essentially just the guy that hacks away at ore veins to get useful materials out. That's going to be his profession, so there we go. And then we have this. Now, I don't have a torch to continue into the darkness, but something tells me I don't want to go there anyway. Just say it might not be the friendliest of places. Can I really not pick this up? That is infuriating. Let's get out of here. So, wasted a little bit of food. Used up a little bit of food, but at the same time, explored another solid chunk of the map. Now, we've made it to Maze Farm. Before we continue, though, pick up that explorer point, and in the compendium, early on you get more of these points than later, because, you know, you keep discovering stuff, you keep earning more experience, and so on and so forth, so... yeah. The whip was one of the most useless things I've ever built, so I'm not going to really pay attention to it that much. Instead, we're going to go with... we're going to go with frugality. Yeah, because money's tight, and reducing our wages is going to be very helpful in the long run. And also lets me recruit more people without having to worry all that much.
No, don't. We got here first. This is our loot.
Right, you did you? So, we're gonna have a fight. Question is there just 3 of you, or is there more? Because if there's more, there's gonna be a bit of a problem. Okay, tell you what, though. Let me just check to see if all our equipment is in order, and we can get into the fight proper. Right. Okay, sorry about that. I forgot that my OBS hotkeys were all jumbled up because, well, from the last stream I did, the pause recording hotkey is now the switch scene hotkey and so on and so forth, so I had to edit all that so I don't bore you with it. Me, you know, fumbling around with hotkeys for a good couple of minutes. So it is indeed a battle. We are up against a poacher, a hoodlum, and a raider. And it's not exactly going to be an easy fight, but it's not going to be the most difficult thing either, I'm also sure. So this is the formation I'm going to go with. And here's the thing, I reckon we're going to use about 2 Valor points here. I'm going to go with Commandlicious starting off, because the hoodlum is the first to take the turn, so I need to engage him before he stabs anyone else. So we're going to go with this. That's going to give riposte to everyone. Just going to be useful in this fight. And then we go here, and we just slash. Now, when Commandlicious gets hit in return, she will be able to strike back at the hoodlum immediately. I mean, you didn't have to critical hit every single time, but okay. And you don't riposte, do you? For some reason, that didn't work, I guess. Okay, fine. The poacher is next, so we're going to just really quickly walk the nuke over and... strike. Living up to his name. Nice. And then we're going to end up with Odd Orion moving up to the hoodlum. Going to do a little stab, and then we're going to go all the way back here. Now, I'm going to end the turn there. You're going to try and punch the nuke in the face, which is just 2 damage, the whole reason I did all of this. Why doesn't riposte work exactly? Next time user is attacked by their engaged opponent, they in return attack with an attack of opportunity. Cancels if the unit moves. Cancelled if the unit moves. Oh. Forgot about that. Genuinely did forget about that. Okay. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to shoot the raider. And we're going to move out of the way. And the reason we're doing it like this is because I know that the Raider boss has an AoE attack, which is 2-meter area around him. Or around her, sorry. So it does 10 damage to every unit in a circle, sort of roughly this size, and applies poison. Yeah, I know, it's extremely powerful. And so I would get Valor points from parking this guy next to someone, fair enough. But I don't want to take 18 damage in this case instead of 9. So yeah, this is much better like this. Just take 9 damage on the chin and it's fine. You also didn't take any poison damage, which is ever so slightly odd, but fine. Fine. You know what? Okay. So the Raider actually takes their turn next, which is a bit unfortunate. I could try and do this. I mean, there's no reason not to, right? The alternative I was thinking was have God Orion kill the hoodlum and then we take it from there, but the Raider takes her turn next anyway. I'm trying to get her to do something. Okay, it didn't work, but it's not the end of the world, and the reason it's not the end of the world is because I can kill the hoodlum, I think. Indeed I can. And now the big problem is Commandlicious has a few stacks of poison on him, I think. Or, sorry, has a few stacks of poison on her, I think. But we can get rid of that with the temporary Valor point that we earned. And then just go ways away from her. Okay. And then afterwards, you go here. You engage. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I had a sneeze, had to mute myself. There we go. So, we engage, we don't do a ton of damage, but that's fine, and we end our turn, and then the Nuclear Strategist whacks this guy over with the head, on the head with the sword, and I think we can end the turn there. Because next turn we have 3 of our guys taking their turns in a row, so that's not going to be a problem. Okay, so we leave this for last. 3. Start off with the backstab and some poison, and then we move out of the way. And the turn. Continue with shot in the back and a crit. Nice, nice. And Glorious is also actually really, really good. There's a chance to generate. There's a chance to generate a temporary Valor point just from ending your turn, so that's a pretty good trait to have. Most of the time I realize that, well, I mean, I don't know, this has just been my experience thus far, doesn't necessarily have to be the case, but thus far I'm sort of coming to the conclusion that the vast majority of traits that you can get from this game are positive, the ones in combat at least. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but that's sort of the feeling I'm getting. Yeah. Well, at any rate, plenty of wheat for us, that's good. Some honey, that's also good. A work manual, which we can read immediately. Also good, and a locked chest. Right, let's see what's in here. Another work manual, so we can read that. 3 pittons. Very useful, actually. Put those up there. And a sapphire. These you just sell. Okay, great. No hemp as far as I can see, right? Oh, there is more honey up here, right? I didn't see in the attic. Oh, sorry, the... Is it the attic? Yeah, kind of like an attic. Right, there is the woodcutting block for a woodcutter. However, we don't have a free profession in our group, so we're going to need to recruit someone for that. Which is fine. We can go over to the compendium, and now we have, how many? We have 2 knowledge points we can spend on something, so that is quite nice. Movement speed in the world is increased by 5. extent, I would like that very much, thank you, because I don't really need any of the crafting stuff yet. And that's about it. Okay, we have no injuries, we have just damaged armor on the nuke, and that's about it. Okay, we also discovered a huntsman profession, and we're also about to discover the fisherman, whatever profession, angler. Sorry, yeah. So we don't have people for that. We're gonna need to get more recruits in order to get those things. But we're making a nice little circle around here. We're gonna come up the northern road and hit a bigger settlement up this way soon, I think, where we can sell most of the stuff that we've picked up. However, I'm going to leave that for next episode. I'm just going to hit up the fishery here really quickly. See if there's something. Oh. How much wheat do we have? Enough wheat. Okay. So there you go. We've found the Dark Steed. Pony seems to have escaped the battlefield. It looks like it wants to follow you. Called the Dark Steed. And given the fact that it's a thing of legend, I'm going to recruit it. Dark Steed has joined your troop. Your companions are wondering why. Why exactly have we picked up another horse? Well, I'll tell you why. Because it's the Dark Steed. And good God, it is amazing. It's a solitary thing. Damage increased by 10% if not next to an ally in combat. It's not going to be next to allies a lot of the time. It's just sort of part of my playstyle to do like solo duels or move people away when all that's said and done. So yeah, there you go. We have Dark Steed. Awesome. There is an unstable bridge here, but tell you what, I think we're going to call it here. We've made a nice little circle around the place, and we're going to continue probably with this fight next time, and then afterwards we need to go to the nearest town, to the tavern, and recruit someone new, because as you can see, there's a couple of professions that we need. So one of them is going to be the woodsman or the woodcutter or whatever, and we're going to need at least 1 or 2 more characters. So if you seen sort of a little bit more of the game and seen how it works and want to be part of this, I would say, rather unfortunate group of companions, given the fact that I'm leading them, and we've nearly lost a couple already. Those poison attacks are no joke. So yeah, if you want to be part of this little group of adventurers, then let me know down in the comments below, or the Discord server, or wherever you deem, wherever you want, really, wherever you deem best. Let me know, contact me, and I will add you in as the next recruit, or rather name a companion after you. And if you have any, more specific wishes about your profession or choice of weapon or whatever, feel free to let me know as well. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Juggernaut. Have fun, take care, and bye-bye.